Welcome to this explosive edition of entertainment news where the worlds of soulful music and sharp-tongued daytime TV collide in a way no one saw coming. Imagine the glittering lights of the View studio in New York City, that iconic hot seat of opinions where celebrities spill their hearts, share their triumphs, and occasionally, let their tempers flare like a summer storm. Today, we're diving deep into the shocking incident that has social media ablaze and headlines screaming. Chaka Khan, the undisputed queen of funk, kicked off The View after a heated argument with the ever-blunt co-host Joy Behar. This wasn't just any guest appearance, it was a powder keg waiting for a spark, and boy, did it ignite. Picture this: Chaka Khan, at 72 years young, strides onto the set with the confidence of a woman who's belted out hits like "I'm Every Woman" and "Ain't Nobody" for decades, her voice a beacon of empowerment for generations. She's there to promote her latest memoir, a raw, unfiltered look at her life from the highs of stardom to the lows of addiction and redemption. Titled Chaka's Groove, A Life in Rhythm, the book is already climbing bestseller lists, promising juicy anecdotes about collaborating with icons like Prince and navigating the cutthroat music industry as a black woman in the 70s and 80s. But what starts as a celebratory chat spirals into chaos, leaving viewers stunned and the internet dissecting every word. As we unpack this drama, we'll explore Chaka's illustrious career, the dynamics of The View, and what this blow-up says about celebrity clashes in the age of viral moments. Buckle up, because this story has more layers than a Rufus track of funky, fierce, and full of fire. Chaka's journey to this moment began in the gritty streets of Chicago, where she was born Yvette Marie Stevens in 1953, a child of the civil rights era who found her voice in protest songs before hitting the charts. By her teens, she was fronting the band Rufus, blending funk, soul, and rock into a sound that redefined R&B. Hits like Tell Me Something Good catapulted her to fame, earning her 10 Grammy Awards and a spot in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But fame came with a price: personal demons, industry sexism, and the relentless pressure to perform. In her memoir, Chaka doesn't hold back, detailing her battles with substance abuse that nearly derailed her career in the 90s. Including an infamous 2006 meltdown at the BET Awards where she appeared disheveled and erratic, sparking rumors of a comeback gone wrong. Fast forward to 2025, and Chaka's healthier than ever, touring sporadically and advocating for mental health in the music world. She's chosen The View for her book tour stop because, let's face it, the show's audience of mostly women aligns perfectly with her message of resilience. Whoopi Goldberg, Sunny Hostin, Sarah Haynes, Alyssa Fair-Griffin, and of course, Joy Behar, the 83-year-old firebrand who's been needling guests since 1997, are ready to welcome her. The stage is set, colorful couches, a buzzing audience of 200, cameras rolling for the live 11 a.m. ET slot on ABC. Chaka enters to applause, her signature turban and flowing kaftan exuding regal vibes, hugging each host like old friends. Whoopi, a fellow trailblazer, gushes about Chaka's influence on her own career, while Sunny dives into the memoir's themes of black excellence. But then, Joy leans in with that trademark smirk, her Brooklyn accent dripping with curiosity. "Chaka, honey, you've lived 9 lives: drugs, divas, divorces. What's the one regret that still keeps you up at night?" It's meant to be light, a classic Joy zinger, but Chaka's eyes narrow. She's heard it all before. The reductive questions that box her into her struggles rather than her strengths. The room tenses as Chaka responds, her voice steady but laced with edge. "Joy, I've owned my mess-ups, but let's not pretend the industry didn't chew me up because I was a loud black woman who wouldn't play nice." And just like that, the fuse is lit. As the argument builds, we can't ignore the cultural context. The View has long been a battleground for unfiltered feminism, where guests like Roseanne Barr and Meghan McCain have clashed spectacularly. Joy, the show's liberal lightning rod, has sparred with conservatives and celebrities alike, from calling out Bill O'Reilly to defending her hot takes on everything from politics to pop culture. Her style? Unapologetic, often comedic, but critics say it borders on bullying, especially toward women of color who challenge her. Chaka, No stranger to confrontation. Remember her 2023 Twitter feud with Adele over greatest singers lists. A isn't one to back down. What unfolds next is a masterclass in televised tension, with audience gasps echoing through the studio. By the commercial break, producers are scrambling, whispers of "cut the feed" floating backstage. This isn't just tabloid fodder, it's a mirror to how women in the spotlight police each other, a poignant reminder that even queens can clash crowns. As we move through this script, we'll relive the blow-by-blow, analyze the fallout, and ponder if this kicking off is the end of Chaka's view or the start of a beautiful beef. Stay tuned, because in the world of entertainment, drama is the real hit single, picking up right where the spark flew. Let's rewind the tape to that pivotal moment on The View set, October 15, 2025. A crisp fall day in Manhattan, leaves turning gold outside the ABC studios, but inside, the heat is rising fast. Chaka Khan settles into her seat, the scent of her signature patchouli perfume mingling with the coffee breath of the crew. The segment opens smoothly. Whoopi kicks off with praise for Chaka's enduring legacy, playing a clip of Through the Fire that has the audience swaying. Chaka smiles, sharing a light-hearted story about recording with Stevie Wonder, how his Braille lyrics scattered like confetti in the studio. Laughter ripples through the crowd, Sarah Haynes nodding enthusiastically, jotting notes for her mommy blog vibe. Then comes the book promo. Chaka holds up the glossy cover, embossed with gold notes symbolizing her musical soul, and reads a passage about her first big break, turning down a backup role for a frontwoman spot with Rufus. Sunny Hostin, ever the legal eagle, probes deeper into the memoir's callouts of record label execs who underpaid her royalties, sparking a round of "Preach, Sister." From the diverse audience, it's all harmony until Joy Behar, perched at the end of the table like a mischievous aunt at Thanksgiving, swivels her chair and drops the bomb. "Chaka, I love your fire, but in the book, you talk about those wild nights of cocaine parties with rock stars, missing shows. Weren't you just as much the problem as the patriarchy?" The studio falls silent, save for a distant hum of the air conditioning. Chaka's manicured fingers tighten around her water glass, her dark eyes locking on to Joy's with the intensity of a spotlight. "Excuse me, Joy, I've spent years in therapy unpacking that, owning it, but you sit there, comfy in your chair, judging a black woman who fought for every scrap while white boys got passes for worse. Have you ever been told your voice was too urban for radio?" Joy, unfazed, fires back with a chuckle that's half nervous, half defiant. "Oh, come on, I'm Italian from Brooklyn and we got our own biases to fight. I'm just saying, empowerment starts with accountability, not excuses." The exchange escalates like a funk bass line building to a crescendo. Alyssa Farah Griffin tries to mediate, piping up about her own experiences with media scrutiny post-White House, but Chaka waves her off. "This ain't about you, sweetie, it's about sisters lifting, not tearing." Whoopi interjects, her voice booming like a gavel. "Ladies, let's keep it real but respectful. This is TV, not therapy." But the damage is done. The audience is split, some cheering Chaka's clapback, others murmuring at Joy's candor. Backstage monitors flicker with producer notes, "Let it Brettia ratings gold." As the cameras roll on, Chaka recounts a milder anecdote from her memoir about mentoring young artists like Her, but the undercurrent of tension simmers. Joy attempts a pivot, asking about Chaka's favorite diva duet, but Chaka's responses grow curt, her legendary laugh absent. Midway through, during a break for makeup touch-ups, whispers circulate. Chaka's publicist is texting furiously, gauging if this viral potential outweighs the shade. When they return, Joy doubles down, referencing Chaka's 2016 Hollywood Walk of Fame speech where she called out ageism in music. "See, that's what I mean. You're a fighter, but fighting us, we're on your side." Chaka stands, her caftan swirling like a cape. "Side? Whose side?" "The one that books me but questions my pain." The audience erupts in a mix of applause and awkward coughs. It's here that producers signal for commercial, but not before Chaka snatches her book and heads off set, mic still clipped, muttering, "I'm done with this circus." Joy, mouth agape, quips to the camera, "Well, that's one way to exit stage left." Cut to black, hearts pounding across America. This wasn't scripted drama, it was raw, revealing the fault lines in female solidarity on live TV. The View thrives on such sparks. I remember Meghan Markle's tell-all or Bette Midler's rants. But this felt personal, generational, racial. Chaka's walk-off echoes her past bold moves, like quitting Rufus in 1978 for a solo career that birthed anthems of independence. Joy, a survivor of network axings herself, she left in 2013, only to return, embodies the scrappy resilience that built the show. Yet, in that moment, their icons clashed, Soul Queen versus Talk Titan, authenticity versus entertainment. As feeds resume post-break, Whoopi addresses the elephant. Folks, passion runs hot here, that's why you tune in. But the seed of scandal is sown, tweets flying like confetti. Chaka versus Joy trending worldwide. What drives such a rift? For Chaka, it's the exhaustion of being the strong black woman trope, always probed for flaws over feats. For Joy, it's her comedian's instinct to provoke laughs through discomfort. This argument isn't isolated, it's symptomatic of broader media dynamics where women over 70 are either sidelined or sensationalized. Chaka's memoir, ironically, dedicates a chapter to conversations that heal, yet here she is, storming out of one that wounds. As the segment wraps, co-hosts exchange uneasy glances, the crew applauding Chaka's return for a forced photo op. But the air is thick. Will apologies follow, or feuds fester? In the annals of talk show lore, this joins the ranks of Ellen's tears and Oprah's Carter's interview, a testament to TV's power to amplify human frailty. And as we segue to the next layer of this saga, remember, behind every kickoff is a kick-ass story waiting to be reclaimed. Now, let's peel back the curtain on the immediate aftermath, where the studio's lights dim but the online inferno roars to life, turning a midday spat into a 24/7 media maelstrom. Mere minutes after Chaka Khan's dramatic exit from The View, the clip hits ABC's digital platforms, engineered for shares. 30 seconds of escalating barbs, Chaka's mic drop stride, Joy's wide-eyed retort. By noon ET, its viral velocity on Twitter, or X, as it's branded, explodes with 500,000 views. Hashtags like #ChakaWalks, #Joy Behar cancelled, and #Queen Khan rules cascading like dominoes. Fans rally. Chaka said what we all feel is stop interrogating black legends. Tweets a music blogger from LA, while a New York comedian chimes, Joy's got that anti-energy, but Andy needs to sit this one out. Memes proliferate. Chaka superimposed on Thanos snapping away negativity. Joy as a feisty cartoon villain from Ryu Grits. Mainstream outlets pounce. TMZ blasts Soul Diva ditches daytime drama. CNN's entertainment desk analyzes it through a lens of generational feminism. And Variety pens a think piece on The View's role in amplifying or alienating icons. Chaka, holed up in her Midtown hotel suite overlooking Central Park, scrolls through it all. Her team in crisis, media publicist dialing damage control, manager pitching counter-narratives to friendly podcasts like The Breakfast Club. She posts first, a serene Instagram story of her sipping tea, caption conversations evolve. Grateful for my journey. Book drops tomorrow. Let's groove beyond the noise. #'Cause Groove. It's classy, cryptic, clocking 2 million likes and hours, but the subtext screams shade. Meanwhile, back at ABC, producers huddle in a glass-walled conference room, coffee cups piling up. Executive producer Brian Teta, a veteran of Whoopi's barbs and Sonny's takedowns, weighs options: edit the full exchange for rebroadcast or trim the edges to soften. Ratings data trickles Ina up 40% in the demo, a boon for advertisers like L' or A tilde. Copyright Alan Procter Gamble peddling empowerment creams. Joy Behar, in her dressing room mirror, practices a mea culpa. I meant to spark discussion, not dismissal. Chaka's a hero, but her inner comic rebels. She's no stranger to backlash, having weathered boycotts over Trump jabs and vaccine quips. By afternoon, The View socials drop a teaser, hot topics ahead. Tune in tomorrow for the real talk. Whoopi, the glue of the panel, texts Chaka personally, sis, that was fire, but let's chat off air. You know we stan. The response? Radio silence, fueling speculation of a deeper grudge. As evening falls, Late-night TV seizes the narrative via Jimmy Fallon lip-syncs Chaka's Tell Me Something Good with Joy puppet jabs, while Trevor Noah, now streaming, roasts the Battle of the Antis on his Netflix special drop. Print follows. The New York Times op-ed questions if daytime TV infantilizes women over 70, citing Chaka's arc from 70s sensation to 20s sage. The Guardian hails it as a Me Too moment for media elders, while Fox News spins it conservative. Liberal ladies eat their own. Chaka exposes the hypocrisy. Chaka's camp counters with a press release. Ms. Khan appreciates the platform but stands firm on respectful discourse. Her memoir speaks volumes. Read it. Sales spike 300%. Amazon scrambling for stock. Celebrities weigh in. Mary J. Blige DMs support. Queens protect queens. Adele jokes on stories. I'd walk off to I Love You, Chaka, and even Prince's estate tweets a throwback clip of their collab, captioned Harmony over Heat. Joy, undeterred, calls into Howard Stern, look, I adore Chaka. Her music got me through menopause, but truth hurts, and I call it like I see it. Stern laughs, but listeners divide. Some hail her honesty, others dub her the cancellation queen. Behind the glamour, personal tolls emerge. Chaka confides to a close friend about resurfaced trauma, the argument dredging old wounds from label bosses who dismissed her breakdowns as diva fits. Joy, privately, vents to her husband Steve Yanowitz about feeling ganged up on, her comedian's armor cracking under the weight of ageist bully tags. By midnight, the clip surpasses 10 million views. Algorithm gods at YouTube and TikTok feasting on remixes of Chaka's clapback set to trap beats. Joy's face swapped onto wrestling villains. This digital deluge underscores a key truth. In 2025, no spat stays small. It's amplified. Annotated. Avenged online. The View teeters on a tightrope. Its hot topics format built on controversy, yet risking alienating icons who fuel its relevance. Chaka's walk-off becomes a symbol, not defeat, but declaration, echoing her lyric I Can't Stay Silent. As fallout ferments, network-size spin-offs. Chaka sit down with Oprah's network, perhaps Joy's solo special on feisty females. But for now, the echo chamber hums, a symphony of support and scorn, proving that in celeb culture, the real kickoff is the conversation that kicks back. Delving deeper into the heart of the storm, we must examine the intricate backstories of these two powerhouses, whose collision feels less like chance and more like destiny scripted by decades of unyielding ambition. Chaka Khan, born into a family of activists. Her uncle a Black Panther, her mother a blues singer, grew up marching for equality, her voice first a tool for change, then a weapon for wonder. By 1973, Rufus's breakthrough album Rags to Rufus marked her as the era's fiercest frontwoman, her afro a crown, her growl a gospel. But success bred sabotage, label fights over creative control, a 1980 solo pivot that birthed Time Every Woman, later sampled by Whitney and remixed into eternity. The 80s were her glittering Pekka Grammys galore, a Prince penned I Feel For You that fused rap and funk, but shadows loomed. Cocaine's grip tightened, leading to cancelled tours and tabloid torment by 1991. Rehab stints and a suicide attempt in 1994 painted her as troubled, not triumphant. Yet Chaka rose, phoenix-like, with 2000 sobriety and spiritual rebirth via Sufi influences. Her 2016 album Mask the Ages, a jazz soul reclamation. Her memoir distills this, chapters on lost loves, 4 husbands, including a volatile Basie, motherhood to daughter Indira, now a singer herself, and industry betrayals, like Under Pain for Papillon soundtracks. It's cathartic, costing her $2 million in legal clearances for name drops, but empowering a Chaka as architect of her narrative, not victim. Contrast this with Joy Behar, the 1942 Brooklyn babe who traded teaching English for stand-up stages, her wit a shield against anti-Semitism and sexism in 70s comedy clubs. The View was her launchpad in 1997, co-created by Barbara Walters as a multi-gen perspective. But Joy's the survivor axed in 2013 amid ratings dips, rehired in 2014 as the sassy senior. At 83, she's the panel's provocateur. Her book When You Need a Laugh, a collection of zingers on aging, politics, and pasta. Joy's style, rooted in her Italian-Jewish heritage, blunt as a meatball, funny as a funeral roast. She's clashed with Ann Coulter, defended abortion rights on air, and once stormed off set over a Trump joke gone awry. Her marriage to Steve, a 57-year union, grounds her no kids, but a surrogate family and co-hosts. Though tensions simmer, Whoopi's called her incorrigible. What unite Essa and divide Essa? These women, a shared ferocity born of fighting for space in male-dominated realms. Chaka battled record execs who exoticized her joy, network suits who patronized her post-menopause. Both embody lipstick feminism, bold, brash, and bowed by years, yet their clash reveals fractures. Class. Chaka's working-class grit versus Joy's middle-class moxie. Race. Subtle microaggressions in Joy's universal framing. Generation. Chaka's 70s radicalism versus Joy's 90s liberalism. Psychologists might call it horizontal hostility. Women redirecting systemic rage at each other. In the argument's DNA, Chaka hears echoes of past dismissal, so her 2006 Bachelor slurred as crazy auntie, not chemical imbalance. Joy, conversely, sees a mirror to her own defenses, probed for mean girl moments like shading Kellyanne Conway. This backstory enriches the blow-up. It's not petty, it's profound, a dialogue deferred. Chaka's influence as Nina Simone's fire, Aretha's commando equip her to counter Joyce. Joan Rivers' bite, Irma Bombeck's satire rearm her to quip. Post-incident, Chaka journals in her suite, penning lyrics for a potential diss track. View from the throne, not the couch, ain't no host gonna douse my flame. Joy, sipping Chianti at home, replays the tape, chuckling at her own gall but wincing at the hurt. Their paths crossed before Chaka guested in 2010, praising Joy's humor but time-tempered familiarity into friction. Broader context. 2025's media landscape, post-#MeToo and amid deepfakes, craves authenticity, yet punishes its purveyors. The View ratings hover at 2.5 million daily, buoyed by such spectacles, but risks echo chamber critiques. Chaka's book tour reroutes to The Jennifer Hudson Show, where empathy reigns. Joy's defenders side where Ali Sheep fundraising for women's shelters, marching for ERA. Detractors, a laundry list of tone-deaf takes. Ultimately, this duel spotlights sisterhood's complexities, admiration laced with envy, support shadowed by scrutiny. As Chaka tweets a Simone quote, "I wish you success, and that you deserve it's olive branch or arrow." Joy responds indirectly on air, "To my sisters out there, call me out, I can take it." Their legacies intertwine now, a funky footnote in feminist folklore. In unpacking these origins, we see not villains, but Victor Sisgard, sassy, still standing,